my production company created an advert for that, as well as the fact I've done a lot of interviews. I've written articles. I was in the documentary Prince William, and then of course with the Sound of Support series, I came on as a consultant, and then interviewed Jurgen Klopp and Andy Robertson as well. So it's been really interesting to be able, and obviously so important to be able to lend my support to this cause, because I think it's done a lot to really bring this conversation to the public domain.
Yeah, man, that was a good watch, man. To hear players at that level speak so freely, so open.
Yeah.
That was very well produced, and it was a good watch. You being, I don't want to put pressure on you, but pioneer, can I say that? All of this,
I don't feel pressure on that, because I'm just, from people saying I'm a pioneer, maybe because at the end of the day, I'm just sharing my story. If that makes me a pioneer, then that makes me a pioneer. I don't do it to be a pioneer. I do it to help people, because I know how difficult it is and how lonely it feels. I think that's the biggest thing, is me sharing my story is to show that it's fine to have this discussion. It's okay to share your story, share who you are, because in the end of the day, it's just emotions. We're human beings. Mm-hmm. Every human being ever has had emotions, and for us to discuss it should be cool, should be fine. So
yeah,
that's the reason I do this.
Yeah, so you being, in my eyes, a pioneer, as players reached out to you and asked you for advice, and what do they say when they see how you're doing after your career?
I've had a lot of players reach out to me, which I was quite surprised about, and I have been quite surprised about, to be honest, but at the same time, not really, because I know what football is like, I know what the industry is like, and I know what it can do to people, and it's great that people are able to reach out and have these discussions, even with me, with someone else, whoever it may be, because it's important to have that collective community, because football is one big community. We're all connected. We all have friends of friends. We're all probably connected by one or two people. And we're all going through the same thing. Mm-hmm. So for us to be able to share that is important, because we know how to support each other. We know how to help each other. We know how to get through it together, and just showing that it's fine. It's fine. It's common. It's cool. It's the same as just getting an injury. You go to the physio, you get looked at, and you figure it out, you fix it, and you move forward, and you do what you need to do to keep on top of it. So the same way, having a conversation about how you feel, consistently having these conversations, is the same as doing prehab, where you had an ankle injury or a knee injury, because you're staying on top of it. You're making sure that it's fine. And that's the mentality that we need to try and lean towards, really.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen Reece Wabara's interview recently.
I've not, no.
Okay, well, he is the owner of Mane Devoir.
Yeah, and I know Reece, yeah.
Yeah, you know Reece. And he was just talking about, in the interview, basically, to summarize it, he said, footballers, they're on a high, they have a contract, everything's good, everything's going well, they're living a life, and then, it starts declining, they're not playing. And he said, one thing that's very interesting, which I found true, that when that goes, you start spending even more, living the life more, everything like that. Do you feel like that has a correlation to mental health and mental illness?
You're trying to fill the gap, almost fill the void. You're trying to do what you can to make yourself feel better. I put a post out about it, actually, funny enough, a few weeks ago, talking about how when I was at my lowest, that's what I did. You kind of gravitate towards the things that on surface make it seem like that's what makes you feel better. Having material objects and goods, and just trying to do what you can to regain some sort of happiness and some sort of I wouldn't say status, because I don't think that really comes into play as much, but it does in part feed your ego, which obviously ego is a part of how you feel,
Yeah. Yeah, 100%, man. Seen it a lot.
Here at 3258, we're proud to present you with the best football-specific content. We work with many companies and many ballers to give you, the viewers, the best content possible. You, the viewer, we're always looking to help you improve your skill set. In order for you to improve your skill set and for us to keep making these videos, please click the link down below and buy some equipment. The equipment helps us run this channel, and also you subscribing to the channel helps us producing more of these videos to help you with your skill set and your knowledge of the game. Thank you for supporting 3258.
I don't know what the percentages are of, players going bankrupt and these things, but
yeah,
it's very high for players to be earning more than average wage, more than not, and they're in that situation because of that. It must be something deeper rooted than just what it seems like, right? But and just talk about you producing what some of us have already seen, that Liverpool mental health awareness. How was that? And working with some of the best players in the world, possibly the best manager right now in the world. How was that, and how did that all come about?
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. It's great experience to be able to work with great names, but in the end of the day, when these things come up, it's just a conversation with somebody else who we're having a conversation, not even really necessarily about football, but just around people and emotions and stories and stuff like that, which is something that I like to learn. I like to hear people's stories and their journeys and stuff. How it came about is because I've been heavily involved in the Heads Up campaign from the start, really. And as I said, my production company created an advert for that, as well as the fact I've done a lot of interviews. I've written articles. I was in the documentary Prince William, and then of course with the Sound of Support series, I came on as a consultant, and then interviewed Jurgen Klopp and Andy Robertson as well. So it's been really interesting to be able, and obviously so important to be able to lend my support to this cause, because I think it's done a lot to really bring this conversation to the public domain.
Yeah, man, that was a good watch, man. To hear players at that level speak so so freely, so open.
Yeah.
That was very well produced, and it was a good watch. And now that's at the highest level, so that filters down to maybe other players feeling that they can speak out and be open and honest about their feelings and stuff like that. Quick question. You have two halves of your career. So you have your football career and Transition FC, that part of your career, right? At your highest point in your football career, does it match the happiness that you have now after your career?
The highest point of my career, I was miserable. So even other parts of my career, when I was lower points in my actual career, I was a lot happier, and I'm much happier now outside of football than I was inside of football, to be honest. So yeah, it's not even a question.
Yeah, that's good to hear, man. And that brings a smile to my face, knowing that, you know, when I was younger, I used to think, oh, football, I want to play in the Premier League. I want to play in Champions League. Like, these are things that, obviously, if you're playing, you should aspire to do the best you can, right?
Absolutely.
But, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, So you always need to think a step ahead and think what you're going to do after your career. Pick a passion, what you're interested in, what you want to do, because, like in football, it's a passion you have and you're doing it, and you're going to get knocked back sometimes. And I guarantee you in what you've done, even after your career, hasn't all been plain sailing either, right? So you're doing it and you're continuing to keep going because you have that passion. So basically what I'm trying to say is that, in this after football life, you have to be doing something that you love and something that you're interested in, because if you don't, you're just going to be unhappy after your career's done.
Exactly.
You don't want to be working, no offense, in a job that you hate, and that you end up going down another rabbit hole. So how would you advise everybody to kind of transition while they're playing into what they're doing?
Try things. That's the biggest thing, is to try things, because you never know what. There's always an opportunity to do something in that you enjoy. You know what I mean? People may think, right, I really enjoy this, but I don't know if I could do that as a job. There's always a way to do something similar, or there's always a way to use that passion in something else. So just follow what you enjoy, and try loads of different things in that space. And then you'll find eventually there is a specific role out there that you want to go down. And then, of course, then you can start planning your way. If you don't try things, then you'll never know what it is you do like or you don't like.
Mm-hmm. And another question: were you always this open about things that you were doing now in your career? So, for example, did you start filmmaking during your career, and did people and players know about it? And what did they used to say if they did know?
I did, but I didn't tell people. So
okay,
it wasn't. They didn't know until basically towards the end of my career, when things, when I was kind of not really as bothered about what people are saying, and I was probably eyeing retirement a bit more. So there wasn't anything to be said, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's just because I was watching that recent interview, and he basically just said that, crazy story, he was in Team of the Year, and he ended up getting released in the season. He was Team of the Year for Wigan, and the manager, he sat down with the manager, and the manager said,
"You're not focused on football.
You're not focused on football." So it's just a double. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, right? With this kind of stuff. So we want to try educate the people in maybe the best way to go about things if you're playing in this industry, because you might go about it the best way, but it just might not be be seen that way.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely say you still do it, because in the end of the day, when you retire, nobody's going to look after you. No one's going to help you, support you. So you do what you need to do for the best thing, for you, your family, your life, your career, etc. If that means doing it in private, not sharing it with anyone, then so be it. But I would highly recommend to every player to make sure they're doing something, and it's for themselves.
Okay, man. Thank you for coming on, and thank you for sharing that wisdom with us. Just plug your social medias, everything you're doing now. Just tell us, all your handles and everything like that.
My stuff is just at Marvin Sordell, and then you could probably just find all the other pages from there, to be honest, because I'm doing so many different things at the moment. Yeah,
you're just a man with so many fingers in different pies. Okay,
yeah, I mean,
4258. This was Marvin Sordell, and that's what content we're giving you the best content. Peace out.
For more content like this, like, share, and subscribe.